guys.
All right, Katie, thank you. It was 1 week ago today that a man walked into the Rockwood Cancer Treatment Center on the Deaconess Complex, shot and killed his wife who worked there, and then shot himself.
And even though the hospital remained operational throughout it all, the effects, of course, can still be felt. KREM 2's Brianna Roy joins us live now to show us one person whose job it is to help people cope with that crisis.
That's right. Good morning. And oftentimes a family's tragedy can just be an officer's normal day. Of course, Tuesday was a very serious situation, and the police department has a special team of police chaplains that they send in during tragedies like this to help not only the people there cope, but the officers themselves. And on Tuesday, 1 week ago today, it was Chaplain Ed Hoffman that got the call to respond right away to that murder-suicide on the 7th floor of the Rockwood Cancer Treatment Center. He says it was horrific. Once he was there, his first job was to check on the officers. On scene, he says they usually say they're okay, but it's his job to truly look at them and make sure they're okay. Then he helps where officers ask him to step in. On Tuesday, he broke the news of what happened to a family friend who had the couple's children. And later, he broke the news to the parents of the man and woman. Hoffman says it's his job to create a presence of compassionate care. And in this case, because of where it happened, he says this was more than a family tragedy. It was a community tragedy.
It's a total toll. It's chaos for everybody on that floor, in that building, in the Rockwood Deaconess community, for the patients that are in that building, in the facilities. When you have a crisis response like we had that day, it's shaking a core of a community.
And so he says it also takes a strong community of people to help those involved cope with what they've just experienced. After something like this, Rockwood holds what are called critical incident stress management debriefings for staff and patients. And Rockwood has asked Hoffman to help facilitate some of those. On top of that, Hoffman says Rockwood itself is offering its own resources and staff to their employees and patients who are working there on Tuesday. And so the coping doesn't end overnight. Hoffman says his job deals with a whole lot of ongoing relationships with people, and especially those officers. So when he's not responding to things like this, he's often just riding along with officers, getting to know them, earning their trust, so that when they do experience something traumatic like they did on Tuesday, they are comfortable enough to trust him and to talk about it, to help them cope. He says the last thing he wants to see is his own officers in crisis themselves. Reporting live this morning, Brianna Roy, KREM 2 News.